Okay, today is a Mercedes Sprinter camper van or motorhome, and we're going to go in and put it in this cupboard down here. In here there is a nice space. I've done one before in this cupboard and goes in nicely. So we'll get started. I'll show you how it rolls. Okay, so finally found the best place to put the hole, and it's right here, which means that the heater is going to sit right tight up against the cupboard here. So a bit of precision measuring, drilling and fitting, but it's all going to work. So it's going to be nice and tight and come out on the underside without hitting anything. That took about half an hour, but it's sorted. So there's the heater hard up against the wall. What I'm going to do now is drill the hole for the vent while I can still move the heater before I've locked it down, and that way I can get everything lined up and then tie it down and get on with the rest of it. That took probably the best part of an hour just to make sure that got in the right place, but that's the important thing, getting it right first time. All right, so hole drilled from back here. Hopefully that will line up perfectly, and we'll slot the heater in, put the vent on and get cracking on the rest of it. There it is. I'll fix it in now, but couldn't get much closer than that. Perfect. So the next thing to do is to cut down your mounting plate with a multi-tool or something like that. A bit hard to see it. I'll just cut that down so that it will fit in the groove there and the hole there, and mount it and then put the cover over it. So there we have it. Couldn't get it central just because of where the heater had to be positioned, but that will do the job and it saves a lot of storage space. Alright, you gotta love motorhomes. They're super tight under here. First thing I'm going to do is seal that up, and then we'll run the pipes and hoses to various places. Had to move those water hoses out of the way because obviously we don't want them touching on the exhaust. But other than that, it's a very, very neat fit. So I'll do some siliconing, then we'll do some tightening up of where the parts go. Okay, so here's the fuel line coming out from inside, running around to the filter and pump, which is up there. I've still got to connect the fuel line back from the pump to the main unit itself. But I'll go inside and show you what we're doing with the fuel tank, and then I'll come out and fix this up. Okay, so the plan is fuel tank goes in here, slots in there tight. It's got a quick disconnect on there, which means, so it's a ball valve which stops any fluid coming out, so you can disconnect, take your tank out and refill. I'm just going to connect it into the hose now that I've run through to the pump, and that will sit there neat and tidy, and again, minimum space taken up. That's the fuel tank on place. I've left a little bit of play in that fuel line, but I'll just tack that to the wall. I'll go underneath and finish up the rest of what needs doing under there. Okay, so hopefully that's me all done under here. It's the air hose, air inlet. It's the fuel going to the fuel pump, coming from the tank, and the exhaust. Tricky place, tricky to put an exhaust on here, but that's about the best I can do. Make sure it's not touching any of these water pipes. And I'll run the cable around here under where I'm sitting, coming out here because the batteries are under this compartment here. I'm just going to join these with the connectors and then hook it up to the battery. You can leave the whole wiring harness sitting there if you want. I'll just try and shorten it and make it a little bit neater. Alright, that's all connected in, tighten up, tied down, put a controller on and give it a start. Alright, and here is the finished product. The controller mounted there, these guys fixed in here, the quick release valve, wiring tied up and working very well.